This is Mrs. May. Today we are doing a lesson on subtracting integers. We just finished a lesson on adding integers, and it's a very similar process. And so we're going to be first starting out with looking at a number line and how you go about solving subtracting with integers. So as we're looking at the first problem, 3 minus 5, we're starting on the number line at the 3. And we are going to be moving or subtracting, if you will, negative 5 or subtracting 5. So when we're using subtraction, we actually are going to be moving on the number line to the left. So if we move 5 places to the left, if you count this out with me, we start at the 3, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We end up at negative 2. So what we're doing, and another way to look at this is to add the opposite. And I know you guys have heard of that before, adding the opposite. We end up with 3 plus a negative 5. And if we had that same problem, we would go through the same process on a number line of moving to the left 5 places. Also, we have looked at using counters and how you would go about using counters with some zero pairs. If you have 3 positives and 5 negatives, and you are subtracting and you're thinking about zero pairing those off, if you match these up or these positives match up with these negatives, you are left with 2 negatives or negative 2, which was our answer. So our subtracting rule, and you'll want to get this into your notes, to subtract an integer, add its opposite. And these two problems, you can see where we started out with the original problem, 3 minus 8. And when we add the opposite, we change the subtraction sign to a minus, or the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and we change the positive 8 to a negative 8. That's what it means by adding its opposite. And on letter B, we've got the subtraction sign that we've changed into an addition sign. And we had a positive 4. We also changed that to negative 4. The opposite of 4 is negative 4. So when you go about solving these, you have 3 plus negative 8. So if you think on a number line, starting at 3, moving left 8 places, you will end up at negative 5. Or if you think of it as the zero pairs where you have your counters, you've got 3 positives, 8 negatives. When you match them up, you would have 5 negatives left over. Letter B, we've got 2 signs that are the same. And if you think back to adding integer rules, when 2 signs are the same, you simply add them up. We've got a negative 5 plus a negative 4 is negative 9. And if you think of it as 5 negatives with 4 negatives, if you were using little counters, you would have 9 negatives altogether. Couple of sample problems I want you to try. We've got 10 minus 7 and 6 minus a negative 7. So if you can pause the video and take a minute to see if you can accurately solve these. Couple of things. First of all, we have 10 minus 7, which they're both positive numbers. You can simply do 10 minus 7. You know 10 minus 7 is 3. If you look at it from an adding its opposite standpoint, and we wanted to rewrite this into an addition problem, it would be 10 plus a negative 7, which is still 3. Letter D, you've got 6 minus a negative 7. So when we think of changing it to adding its opposite, this becomes 6 plus a positive 7. And hopefully you all know 6 plus 7 is 13. So hopefully you were successful on those 2 sample problems. My example problem for you for the assignment is to take an algebraic expression. Remember, an algebraic expression includes, this actually is an equation, includes some variables. The variables are this x, this y, this z, that are all located in this problem. And this actually should say equations. I think it started out originally as an expression, and then I changed it to an equation. What's the difference between an expression and an equation? Hopefully you remember that. This equal sign. So we've got x minus y minus z. So you're going to be taking these x equals 9, y is equal to -8, and z is equal to -2. And I know that looks really, really messy, so I'm going to erase some of this for you so that you can see this properly. But you're going to be substituting in those numbers for those variables and solving this for tomorrow. Good luck!